Welcome, my friends, to another runner's flow. We're going to get started in downward facing dog. So just start to walk your feet out in this position, driving one heel down towards the ground and letting the other knee bend. And you're just going to really take your time in this position to really drive the heel down towards the ground. Then we're going to reach the same arm forward. So this reaching action is going to really stretch out the side body, get the oblique stretching, get the outer hip stretching, and you're just going to do what feels good. So I slightly lean to the side as I start to reach that same arm as my stretching leg. So the leg that's nice and straight, I'm also reaching that same arm. So just going to do alternating repetitions here of our reach and stretch down towards the ground with that calf. And this one's a nice one just to get warmed up before we start to work into the hip into greater ranges of motion. I'm now going to drop my knee down to the ground and get a big toe stretch, and we'll now drop both knees to the ground and get that big toe stretch. So just starting to get warmed up. And now you're going to take your right knee and take it all the way through to the middle of your hands, and we're into a nice long runner's lunge position. You'll drop your knee down, squeeze your bottom and press the hip towards the ground, and then lift it back up again into that nice long runner's lunge. We're going to come up onto a nice high lunge position, and this time I want you to focus on squeezing your bottom of that back leg to try and get it as long as possible and as little knee bend as possible. We're just going to pulse forward and drive that top knee forwards over the toes as much as possible. You can add a little reach in here if you need. And as you're lunging forward, we're concentrating on a nice long back leg and opening up the back of the hip. Coming down to the ground with both hands, you're going to start to drop the knee down and then lift it back up again on that back leg. So we're squeezing the quad and the glute of that back leg, lifting and lowering for a few reps. Back to downward facing dog. We'll pedal out the calves and then go to the other side. Drive the left leg through to the middle of the hands. Nice long runner's lunge. Drop the back knee down towards the ground and pulse that hip towards the ground, that back hip. We're going to squeeze the glute, come into that long runner's lunge and come up into that high lunge position, reaching the arms forward. Going to come forwards again, lunging forwards, really drive forward with a heavy heel, knee over the toe. So you've got to keep some weight in that heel as you drive into that lunging position. And again, keeping that back leg long, squeezing the quad, trying not to bend the knee too much. We're going to get a big opening of that front of the hip on the back leg. Dropping the knee down, we're going to go for our knee lifts here, squeezing the quad and then dropping the knee to the ground gently, lifting up and then slowly tapping down. 2 more to go here, squeezing and lifting up. Again, concentrating on a long body as you do this, nice long spine, opening up the chest and light on the fingertips. All right, we're going to come back into that downward facing dog and pedal out the calves. Big breath in here. And slowly roll up to a seated position, roll the shoulders, feel good. I hope you guys enjoyed that little stretch today, just 4 minutes, and I hope you're feeling more open, and I'll see you next time.